Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of a pre-race show for the NASCAR Cup Series race tonight. And it's going to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it will be a just over, it's a 500 kilometer race, but it's going to be just over 300 miles in length. I believe 208 laps is the scheduled distance, so it'll be a pretty quick race for the most part. So here is my expert analysis picks of fantasy, who you guys should stay away from, who you guys should pick as maybe your lower tier drivers that could perform well, but not necessarily your solid picks. Maybe picks for your garage. And then I'll give you guys your picks for who I think you should have in your lineup as a solid lock. And we'll see who I'll have at my lineup at the end of the show. So, first off, we're going to start off with drivers who you should stay away from tonight. We got two drivers that I think you should stay away from that are higher caliber drivers. Both are past champions in the series. One of which is Kevin Harvick. Harvick finished sixth place. He finished in sixth, I believe. At Charlotte in the Coke 600, but it was off of that crazy finish at the end. Really, he was an 11th to 15th place car all night. Track position is going to be key. He's starting in the mid pack, and it's going to be a lot for him to get to the front. I don't think he's going to get really hardly any stage points at all, and he might contend for a top 10 at the end of the night, but I would stay away from him. There's going to be much better tracks he could be better at later in the season. Another driver is going to be Kurt Busch. I think Kurt Busch is going to be a driver that I think you should stay away from. He was another pretty much non-factor. He qualified on the pole, and he ran in the top 10 throughout the first stage, maybe even a little bit in the second stage, but the second half of the race, he was basically non-existent. He finished outside the top 10. He ran basically outside the top 10 the second half of that race. I would stay away from Kurt Busch. Again, those drivers, it wouldn't surprise me to find their way in the top 10 with the experience they got, especially Kevin Harvick, for instance, with the talent he's even had this year, but it's just not the smartest pick, especially for Kevin Harvick standards, because, again, we're going to go to tracks later in the season that he can perform very, very well at. So now, my picks for possibly dark horses or drivers that you could have on your garage. I know I say this guy's name a lot as of recent weeks, but it's only true. Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick has been on a roll. Another top 10 finish with an 8th place finish the other night in the Coke 600. Very solid day all the way throughout. The very beginning, I believe he qualified in 5th, and he was running top 5 basically the entirety of the first two stages. He fell back, didn't get as many stage points in stage 2, and he ended up, I don't know if he got stage points in stage 3 or not, but points-wise, he had a decent day. Again, top 10 finish at the end of the day as well. I think he is a very good caliber driver to have in your garage, or maybe at the end of your starting 5, perhaps, especially if you do have somebody that isn't running as well as you had hoped, as well as somebody that is definitely, again, he's a great liability for your garage. Another driver, maybe not necessarily a dark horse because he's been on and off this year, but again, it looks like he has flipped the switch, at least at Charlotte Motor Speedway the other day. I think it's going to be this guy right here, Ryan Blaney in the 12. I think he's going to have a pretty stellar day today. Again, he's starting mid-pack because of the inversion with Ryan Blaney starting 19th in the field, starting 18th in the field after a third place finish in the Coke 600. He qualified 26th, and he was showing speed from the very start. He was non-existent for the first half of the race as far as the leaderboard, and Fox never really showed him until the second half of the race because he wasn't in the top 10. But I was keeping an eye on him, mainly because he's my favorite driver, but I was keeping an eye on him. He went from 26th to 17th at the end of the first stage, then from 17th to 9th. At the end of stage 2, at the end of stage 3, it went from 9th to 6th. So he was slowly climbing up and then ended up with a third place finish. So, and he was right there at the end, of course, too. So I think Ryan Blaney is a strong pick. He was only getting better as the night went on. That's more information they're going to have for tonight. It's just going to be a matter, again, same thing with a guy like Kevin Harvick, but I think Blaney's got the better car for this race today. So I would definitely go with Ryan Blaney there. And now my picks for drivers that I think that you guys should have in your lineup. I would have all, if not at least half, 2 to 3 for sure in your starting lineup of the Hendrick Motorsport drivers. They were very, very solid on Sunday night at Charlotte for the Coke 600. I think they're going to be solid again The difference is again, it's a lot shorter of a race. Jimmie Johnson starting a little bit further back at the pack. Good news is for Alex Bowman and William Byron in the sense they didn't get the finishes they really deserved. They were running in the top 10 all day. Bowman was contended for stage wins early, and the finish didn't go his way. He fell all the way back to 20th on that last restart from 3rd to 20th. He would have had a possible, very good chance at a top 5 there, or even a podium finish if he had a better restart. And now, because he ended up finishing 20th and then 19th, really, with the Jimmie Johnson failing inspection, I really think that Bowman can have a good day. I think he's got a great chance to get a lot of stage points, especially with shortened stages in the first 2 stages of the race, with a shortened race tonight. And with Alex Bowman already having the track position, probably the car. Same thing with William Byron. I think those 2 are locks. And then Chase Elliott, obviously, I think he's going to contend for a win tonight because he's been so close to winning lately. He could definitely strike in victory lane tonight, and I'm sure he will be up in the front sooner rather than later throughout this race. Jimmie Johnson starting a little further back in the field. That's the only question mark because he might not get as many stage points, but I can almost guarantee that he's going to get a top 10 finish by the end of the night. Another driver I think that you guys should probably think of as locks is Kyle Busch and possibly even Martin Truex Jr. But Kyle Busch for sure. Again, he has proven time in, time out. Charlotte Motor Speedway, if you count this last race plus the last 4 Coke 600, he hasn't finished outside the top 5. For Martin Truex Jr., he finished 6th, and that was his only finish outside the top 5 within the last 4 Coke 600s, and or I should say last 5 Coke 600s now. So same thing with Kyle Busch. Last 5 Coke 600s, top 5s. And top 5s for Truex. In fact, that includes 3 runner-up finishes or better. So first or second finishes and then the 6th place finish. But, yep, I think Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. could be locks on your team as well. Now let's take a look at who I have in my lineup for tonight's race. Okay, guys, so this is who I am going to have on my team this week. As you see, I'll scroll up a little bit. Currently, I have 12,083 points. I was actually just over 13,000 points, but because Jimmie Johnson obviously ended up failing post-race inspection, I lost all the stage points for him, and I also lost all the finishing points. So he only got 1 point out of me, and or I should say, I only got 1 point out of him. Therefore, that was a pretty big loss. But today, a lot of the drivers, obviously, I stated as far as who I think could contend for a win here. And we're going to start off. All 4 Hendrick drivers will be on the team this week. It's a risky move going every single driver on one team, but they have such a bad performance. Or I should say, such a great performance at Charlotte without the finishes they deserved, except for Chase Elliott, who got second, but he deserved to get the win. So we're going to make sure we put Chase Elliott in the lineup here. Chase Elliott starting 19th. Remember, they inverted the top 20 once again, so he will be starting in 19th. And obviously, a shortened first couple stages is going to be very interesting. Again, track position is going to play key to that. We'll get to that here in a little bit. So we got all 4 Hendrick drivers. You see Chase Elliott, Jimmie Johnson, Alex Bowman, and William Byron. And now we get to Kyle Busch. We are going to keep Kyle Busch in the lineup. He won the Xfinity race. He won finished second in the truck race, right behind the guy that I just put on my roster, Chase Elliott. And I think that momentum will continue. He obviously had a great run the other night, too. His track history has been well at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I know this isn't the Coke 600, but in the last 4 Coke 600s now, if you include this one, he has finished in the top 5 in every single one of those. So I think Kyle Busch is a good pick for my team. Now, I had Keselowski in my garage last week after he got the win. And that's only because at the end of stage 2, he just didn't have any stage points. So I did not think he was going to win the race. I don't think anybody saw that coming, especially halfway through the show. So we got to put a garage driver in here that we could possibly put in the win column, or I should say, that could get points out of this today. Again, staying away from Harvick, not only because of the usages, but again, I don't see him doing much better than what he did the other night, especially now that he's starting mid-pack. I'd like to take somebody that's starting closer to the front outside of Byron and Bowman, as you see there. just because track position is going to mean a lot. Shortened race, it's just over 200 laps in length, so I could obviously see that stage points should be a big factor. Austin Dillon, he's won at Charlotte in the Coke 600 in the past. That would be a very good pick. Just basically going off of guys that performed well at decent amount of times. Honestly, Joey Logano looked pretty decent. Again, these are garage drivers, but man, from what I'm seeing here, I'm not really seeing anybody that I really want that is starting in the top 10 that I don't already have on the team. So I think we're going to go with a rookie here. A guy that's been hot as of late, especially since coming back and even before NASCAR went on that 2-month hiatus. We're going to take Tyler Reddick, rookie. It's a garage pick. We probably won't end up playing him, especially if those other 5 drivers are performing well like I expect them to. But in case one of them gets in an accident early of some sort, or isn't looking as good, we can put Tyler Reddick in the lineup. So stage 1 winner, I think it's going to come from the front row. We're going to take Alex Bowman to win stage 1. It's only 55 laps in the opening stage of the race, and with the competition yellow in there again. I think it's going to be either Byron or Bowman. So it's a toss-up there, but Bowman looked like he had the better car of the two the other night, so we're going to go Alex Bowman to win stage 1. Stage 2 winner, I still think it's going to be someone up towards the front of the field. I believe that stage will end at about lap 1. Man, I can't remember exactly. It's about 110, but it's about another 55 lap stage or so again. Yeah, we're definitely going to take somebody up towards the front of the field again. And honestly, just to be safe, why not take Alex Bowman? Race winner. I think it's pretty obvious who I'm going to pick here this week. I wanted to keep it a secret during the live stream last night, but we're going to end up going with Chase Elliott to win this race. He has been so deserving of a win, probably the last 2 Cup races. He won the truck race over Kyle Busch last night. He's on just such a high momentum streak as far as how his race car and even truck last night has been looking, and he just hasn't gotten the finishes he has deserved. But I am going to say that he will get the finish he deserves for sure from the 19th position. Starting position, Chase Elliott is my pick to win the race. And obviously we're taking Chevy because he drives for Chevrolet. So that is going to be my picks for the race. Tune in later tonight for more. I guess, but I don't know if I'm going to stream or not yet tonight. Again, I don't know what time I'm getting off of work, so be on the lookout for that. We could have the Eldora stream coming up, but for more daily NASCAR content, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. And what are your predictions on the race later tonight? Who do you guys think is going to get the win? And be back here late at night after the race for a post-race show. I'll break down my analysis on who, or I should say, on how the fantasy team did, but most importantly, what I thought of the race that ensued. Again, thanks for everybody joining in, and I'll catch you later.